Hi there, this is Dr. May. Welcome back to week 4 of our linear equations, our system of linear equations project. And as you remember, we've been building this example. Back in week 1, we described the problem. And for my example, we're having a 60th wedding anniversary for my parents. We're going to budget to see how many guests we can afford. Then in week 2, we wrote out in words the two options that we had. For my example, we were having the courtyard villa and the Mediterranean villa. Then we wrote equations for both of those scenarios. And you'll remember we had a flat fee plus a per person fee. Then in week 3, we used Desmos to create a table for each of the scenarios. And we talked about the total cost, the number of people, what the variables meant. So what do we have for week 4? Well, in week 4, we are looking at the solution. Now, you may be thinking, wow, I don't really know what the solution is, but no worries. If you don't even have a clue as to what your solution is, I've got a surefire way that's going to be simple for you to help find the solution, because we're going to be using Desmos again. So hopefully you clicked on that link for Desmos graphing calculator, and let's take a look at how we find the solution. So you remember what Desmos looks like when we first enter it. We've got this box up here with 1. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to type one equation in line 1, and then I'm going to type the second equation in line 2. So let's do that. Okay, so in line 1, I'm going to type y equals 1950 plus 2750x. That was for the Mediterranean villa. And then in line 2, I'll type the other equation, 1250 plus 3250x. Now, it may look like nothing happened on this graph, because what's happened is we're zoomed in so close, we can't actually see anything outside. So what I do with my cursor is I just come over here, I clicked on the graph, and I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Now you start to see the red and the blue, because I know I'm looking for red and blue lines based on these little indicators over here. So I'm just going to keep zooming out. And now I can see them, okay? And it looks like they're parallel, but they're not. They're just pretty steep. So I'm going to keep zooming out a little bit till I can, looks like they're gonna run into each other eventually. And that's what I'm looking for. Where do these two lines run into each other? Oh, it looks like there's somewhere, doesn't it? See, I'm only on the blue line though. See, when I clicked on it, it looked like I was only on the blue line. So I'm gonna zoom out one more. Oh, got in there. So that's what I'm looking for, is where do these two intersect? So I'm dragging it down. Looks like we got somewhere in there. So as I'm dragging along, I noticed this gray dot. Did you see the gray dot that showed up? That is where they intersect. So I let go of the line, I just hovered over it. It looks like I have 140, 5,800. So looks like this is my solution, 140, 5,800. So let's go back to our PowerPoint and talk about what the solution means. So my solution, I'm going to write it as a ordered pair with parentheses and the comma. And then I want to show what this means. Okay, so the solution means that I can invite 140 guests to either the courtyard villa or the Mediterranean plaza, or Mediterranean villa. And it will cost me $5,800. That's what my solution means. Okay, so at this point where those two lines intersected on my graph, that means that that's the number of people and that's my cost, and they'll be the same for both venues at the party. So the only other thing you need to add here in the week 4 is make sure you got a picture on this slide, because every single one of my picture, or every one of my slides needs a picture. So you can go online and find one. I just found some and I just paste them into the picture, into the PowerPoint, and voila. That's going to get me maximum points for week 4. Be sure and save it, upload it to Canvas, and you're good to go. All right, my friends, I hope this helps. Bye for now.